Yeah, he didn't know what I was talking about. Weird.
Imagine that. Let's see here. That's a hot mic. That's going away. How is everyone doing at TV Land tonight? Hello, hello. We have a Jeremy.
Yeah.
There's Josh.
Hi.
Are you happy, Josh?
Yes, I'm ecstatic. All in the
Where's
timing.
Aaron?
Alan's.
Is he supposed to be there? Maybe he's at McDonald's. Somebody track him.
He was
Oh,
over there.
look, Jimmy is working on my picture. Which one do you choose? It's so exciting. Jimmy!
We get to do this trick
Jimmy,
again.
can you hear me?
No, he can't hear you. Aw.
Uh-huh.
No, no, not that tab. Not that tab, Jim. Don't do it.
Oh, he's gonna do it, isn't he? Yep, we're gonna cut off of that.
Run away! Run away!
I hope you like lemon parties.
Oh, my God. Oh, bad. Yep. He's a bad man.
Always down for the Hoff.
Yep.
Can you turn my mix down, Alex?
Oh, I guess.
Apparently, Alan is deaf or something because it is blowing out my eardrums.
Well, he's got those
No.
studio monitors. They're like,
He uses cheap ones here now.
oh. So I got my I had to go in and get a blood test done yesterday.
You have any?
Yeah, I do have some blood, and my liver's still working, so that's nice.
Mine ain't.
Apparently mine just keeps kicking on for some reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to my doctor. It's like, why? How is this still operating? Because it shouldn't.
I've been trying my damnedest.
Really? Alan showed up? Oh, about time. Oh, hi, Aaron.
Hi.
I love the fact that he can't hear you. That makes it the best.
the best.
Here's Alan. Almost.
Thank God
That's
for
my pick of the
beer.
week.
Yes.
I got one, and I didn't forget it this time.
And it's probably Rubber Nubbins 2.0.
No.
Rubber nubbins. Do,
Shields.
It's
rubber
just about
nubbins.
as useless, though.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, I gotta be like Brian. There we go. Shit.
Yes.
Now everything's in the
Shit.
wrong spot there, Alan.
I got a pick.
I'm just trying to get it to, gotta cooperate.
I still think we need to like have the wrestling announcer kind of drop down microphones from top.
Let's get ready.
to podcast.
On this side of the desk, weighing in even less than the guy on the other side of the desk. Hey, are all these open?
Ken, there's all this open space next to me here. I don't know what to do.
The thing
There's
is,
what
Nobody
Brian.
to rub against.
All right, any spelling mistakes in the rundown today?
yeah, I mean,
Yep.
probably.
Oh, your faith and lack is disturbing, Ken. I felt the Corsair one needs to have more color to it, but it
More
didn't.
caps. Can you fit some more caps in there?
I can like bold and underbar the cap.
What about the blink tags? Does blink tags still work?
No, I refuse. I'm drawing a line at the blink tag.
Fine.
Deprecated anyways. You can't use them.
What'd you just call me?
He called you deprecated.
Go Qualcomm. Ba 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 ba.
Oh, shit.
What about it? What? Where? So that missed Kickstarter, they kept adding a bunch of.
No, RBG was on purpose. The Ruth Bader Ginsburg edition.
Quick, find an image.
What were you saying, Alan?
They kept adding juicy extra stuff to like the top tier of that missed
Oh yeah.
Kickstarter thing.
Juicy.
Juicy.
So I was like one or two rungs down, and I was like, I don't need that replica of the pen from Ribbon or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's a little too much for me. I'll just take the book, right?
Yeah.
And they kept sending out like email after email. I was like, well, we've added this, this, and that to this tier of the Kickstarter, and I was like, and then I got like another email. Yeah, we've added these 4 other things to this tier of the Kickstarter. I was like, oh, fine.
Why would they add more physical
throw
goods
money
they have
at
to
us?
make and distribute?
Well, it was I think there were like digital editions, but the actual like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then when I was on there, I found, remember that book of the like schematics and crap? Whatever that was we were talking about like last year,
Oh yeah.
right?
Was that the,
Yeah, that
the
never
map
shipped.
one?
No, it's like the engineering one.
So I never got one, but only because like Kickstarter put a banner over the top of it reminding me like, hey, we're asking for info on this other thing. You might want to pop over there. And like apparently they sent me the email asking for like when they confirm
Yeah.
your address and stuff.
Well, you do never check your email.
They sent that to me like August of last year. So I was like, oh, okay, here's my info.
They're gonna get an email like,
Send me the
"Oh,
book."
someone is responding." They're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Well, because they sent me the email. I didn't see the email, obviously, but at least the Kickstarter site was nice enough to like,
Yeah.
you know, throw some little pop-up reminder thing on the
I had to
page
tell
for me.
Ryan to check because he was wondering
If
about the
he did
same
it
thing a
too,
couple of weeks ago.
Well, and I looked back through my email, and sure enough, they sent the email just like when they were supposed to. Anyway.
Oh, that's what throws you.
Yeah, I mean they did. The problem is I get like I need to like unsubscribe from whatever the spammy Kickstarter stuff is. Because that's why I ignored it. Because like there was, you know, like 50 Kickstarter emails within the past year.
Tell me about projects similar to this one. And next thing you know,
Exactly. So like that's why I didn't see it, because it was just like, oh, another Kickstarter email. Like I'm gonna, you know, oh wait, I need to give them my address or confirm my address for that thing I actually wanted on Kickstarter. Anyway, $4.99. Oh, Josh, this intro's got to be you.
No. No.
This is
I don't get
it.
$4.99.
I don't get it.
So literally, how about this?
$4.99.
How about this? I'll say like episode
you.
number, and then
Thank you.
you know, Alex just cut to Josh and just let him take it for like a few seconds.
Hey, what's the date today?
5-9.
5-9.
Not what's on the rundown.
Oh. Yeah, you should.
no, I don't want to do this week over again. Damn it.
What'd you go putting the date on the rundown for? Now you gotta like
Because-
update another thing.
Ryan always goes, "What day is it?" before we do it.
Well, this is. But then
Is.
Just putting it there help versus just having it here.
it's already in front of him
Update.
on the dock.
Well, that doesn't matter. He still has to go looking for it.
Do you think he's gonna see it there versus like?
Well, that's kind of the point. I mean, I'll get rid of it.
It's not gonna work.
He's oblivious. Come
You
on.
don't have to get rid of
Yeah.
it. I'm just saying it's not gonna work. He's still gonna ask the person next to him what the date is. It doesn't matter how many places it's in.
Well,
And strangely, you guys always tell him the truth.
Yeah.
well, see, now you can just point. It's that date.
So next time he does it, I'll just be like, just pick one of those.
The 5th of September. Yeah.
Anyway.
Do not start.
Remember, the 5th of November.
Do you want it in UTC in a standard time format too?
I want it in Unix time.
Yes, please. Or Unix.
Yeah,
Yes.
seconds from the epoch. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yes. What is the actual, like, they call it epoch, but what is that like? I know,
January 1st, 1970.
I get it.
1979.
No, 1970.
No, it's
1970.
1970. Yeah.
That
Max
was a 9.
Max
Beginning
was
of.
79
Okay.
Yeah.
because they used that weird bastardized semi-epoch
They had to
Unix
be.
time.
They had to think different. Anyway, you ready? Everybody, Alex,
Ready?
Josh, Jeremy.
Yeah, I guess I'm ready. Why is speaker muted on my thing? I don't understand. I've got headphones on. I can hear everything. Is it a Skype update that sucks ass?
No, that can't be.
Are you talking louder because you think you're muted?
Because I'm angry.
But you're not? Oh, okay.
Speaker volume, speaker's muted. That's bullshit.
Well, what about your headset?
But are your speakers actually muted?
Well, I mean, my headset's plugged in, but how do they know? Because it's just all analog. Analog from the back of my computer.
You
No.
have
To my
jack
little
detection
control
on analog.
panel.
Yeah, don't you have jack detection?
I've what?
Oh, don't let Josh know that his computer has jack detection.
Okay, jack
That's why it's
detection.
been
My
lighting up.
headphones are plugged into the control panel of my speakers, not my computer.
And they can feel it.
Mm.
Oh yeah, they can measure somehow the fucking ohms going to an amp unit. Go and bite me.
Either that or there's a camera behind you.
No.
Jesus.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
It is. It is.
Angry Josh night.
I only have a half
so
a beer
done.
left.
Poor planning.
Josh is always angry.
It's my
That's his secret.
That's a secret. Yep. Okay. Are we ready now?
Yep, we have a working remote.
I hope so.
I see things moving around, so yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
You can subscribe to the mailing list, but you're not going to get the email this week.
Well, that's true.
Considering it broke, did.
Was it a service or were we running a server?
We're running a web app that sends API calls to Amazon, to AWS.
To send emails.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In small batches.
Well, I mean, you have to have a transactional email service do it if you want to send 20,000 emails in 2 hours.
Mhm.
So you have to use an API somewhere along the lines.
Just want to use like your iPhone?
I mean, you have seen those like Chinese app rating bot farms. You could probably just have them send it.
Yeah. We have enough phones around here. We just have a phone email sending farm thing.
And you wonder why we're running out of IP addresses.
Well,
IPv6, it solves everything. Besides
Sure.
being able to communicate IP addresses to people.
Yeah.
That, not so much.
Is that a /64 or /68?
okay.
Oh, don't start that.
I'm already yawning. All right. You done clicking your buttons?
Never.
Never?
Never stop clicking.
Yeah, okay. 3, 2. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the PC Perspective Podcast. This is episode number 4. Oh, Josh.
Oh, jeez.
No, we got to start
Ruined.
over. We got to start
Ruined.
over. Josh got pissed because I skipped over him. He was like, put me in, coach. Put me in. He's just waiting.
All right. Bench for the water boy.
Oh man. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna cut to Josh on the $4.99.
Yeah.
All right, we can do that.
Okay. Anyway. 3, 2. Hey, everybody, welcome to the PC Perspective Podcast. This is episode number
$4.99. Thank you. Thank you.
being recorded on May 9th, 2018. I'm Alan Malentano.
I'm Jeremy Hellstrom.
Josh Walker.
I'm emotionally scarred.
And that's an emotionally scarred Ken over there.
I think I'm deaf in this ear now.
I wasn't expecting like red-faced, like, you know.
That's how he does it.
He's been building this up for years and years.
It's like Dragon Ball Z
Yeah, it's
style,
like
with
Vegeta.
flames shooting off the top of his head.
He's
you know?
now Super Saiyan Josh.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Hey, everybody, welcome to the podcast. Yeah, we might as well just,
Give up now.
okay. So let's just start going through all the things. So, hey, there's this mailing list thing that didn't work this week that hopefully we'll have.
Yeah, I'll have that fixed by next
Hopefully
week.
Yeah, just
we'll
like Canada's cellular emergency system.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, they have one of those?
Yeah, we've been testing it out this week.
You know,
and
just
it
piggyback
goes
on ours?
so well.
Oh. All right. Well, PCPro.com/subscribe is how you get there. Give us your name, your email address. That part will still work, right? Like getting the name if there's somebody right now.
Seems like it.
Okay. So it might work. If it does weird things, then try to get
If
later.
we don't get an email before the next podcast, then
Yeah.
it probably doesn't work. I
Okay.
don't know, man.
We'll know. You know, whatever. We're trying to fix it. It's had a good run. I mean, it's been working. There's no need knocking on wood. It's broken now. That's not going to keep it working. It's already stopped.
It's half broken, okay?
Okay. All right. Patreon.com/PCPers, where you can chip in and help us, you know, keep the lights on and stuff, and pay Ken. And you
He
know,
appreciates it.
yeah, things like that. What else we got? Twitter.com/PCPer. If you want to see the feed of the stuff, or at least the bigger stuff that goes on the site. Oh, where's the, is that the right video? It is.
Mailbag number 42.
Just checking. All right, there was a mailbag, that the Ryan,
See, this is a good title, but we really blew the 42 opportunity here.
that's true.
Doing a mailbag,
Yeah,
and it was episode 42, Jim. I'm kind of disappointed.
right.
Because you have all the answers
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
You just don't know the question.
Somebody should have
It
asked.
happened to fall on Star Wars Day. How does that happen?
Somebody should have asked, like, you know, what's the secret of, like, this should have happened, but it
That would require
didn't.
way too much forethought on a bunch of different parties.
That's true. Oh, okay. All right.
Fair.
I didn't realize that there was a question on what my headset was in this podcast, but or in that
He asked you
Mailbag.
like twice beforehand.
but I've answered it in a previous mailbag.
Oh.
Nobody watches those.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah. So there's looks like some cool questions in there, and
Yeah. Cool.
hopefully, some,
Yeah.
no. Well, no, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh just recorded a mailbag today.
Oh, did I ever?
Yeah, boy.
That's 23 minutes of your life that you can't get back.
Click that subscribe button and that bell so you get notified immediately when Josh's mailbag
Yeah,
is
yeah.
up, because you're gonna need it.
You definitely want to know when that one goes up. Next up, JoshTech.com will get you to the Teespring PC Per store. Hot dog, diggity dog. You put as the caption for Hot Dog in the Hallway.
Thank you.
That's pretty good.
It's the little things, Alan.
I thought for 30 whole seconds on that one.
That's good. Yeah, so go there for. Don't worry about these 4 things on the top. That's just fluff. The real stuff is down here.
It's true.
You know, the Josh Tech walrus. Anyway,
The cup is lead lined for your pleasure.
It is? All right, sweet.
Your coffee cannot become irradiated from external sources.
It's really good at conducting heat. So
Yeah.
Well, ceramic is good at conducting heat?
lead.
lead.
Oh,
It
Lead.
also includes a built-in sweetener.
I see. Yeah, sugar-free sweetener. Sweet.
Yeah, true. All natural.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, the EVGA and PC Perspective massive May giveaway. There's already 12,000 entries. Holy crap!
People like free hardware.
What part of
yeah,
massive
people-
don't you
Weird, eh?
understand?
People do like free stuff. I noticed that there were no GPUs. in this
Yeah, well,
giveaway.
you know, beggars can't be choosers,
That's
I guess.
true. But you know, aside from the GPU, it looks like everything else is covered for the most part. So how do you enter this thing? 11 ways. Holy crap! And each one counts. You could do each one of those per. Well, I don't know if you'd want to follow PC per every day. Oh,
You can only do it once.
just the bottom one is
This is
one
the
per day.
daily entry, yeah.
Okay. A bonus. Daily bonus entry. So keep coming back and potentially get some free stuff. It's a pretty good list.
Bone ass entry.
What?
Enunciate. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm enunciating the wrong syllables.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
I'll get it eventually.
Okay. I guess we're ready to get into the reviews.
Yeah.
Since you got the first one.
Can I interest you in a 13-inch Android tablet?
Sure.
That's not the way I thought that was going to go. I had a
mean,
whole thing developed here. A whole
That-
You're expecting me
conversational
to say
thing.
something
that I
really
didn't want it?
terrible?
Expecting
I
you to
don't- I
say
don't-
no.
Well,
Because
I
why
mean,
would you want a 13-inch Android?
I don't even use the tablet I got.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Tablets are stupid.
Right.
However, what if it had an ink display on it?
I mean, okay, so better for reading books.
Yeah.
It's like the point of a tablet. A lot of the big point, usually, kind of.
Yeah. So I kind of started this review kind of pontificating, like Josh, about how ink has kind of been a failure. There were a lot of promises, like 7 years ago about ink, how we'd see it in road signs and grocery stores for the signage, and which you've seen like little tiny rollouts over the years.
Yeah.
And color ink would be a thing. And there were a couple of devices that shipped in really low volume with color ink, but mostly went nowhere. You have Kindles, you have some other less well-known e-readers like the Kobo and stuff like that for the Canadians that have been around. But essentially, there's dumb devices that you can read ebooks on.
Sure.
However, there seems to be this bizarro universe where a company called Onyx, based in China, has kind of continued to develop e-readers and has gotten here, which is the Onyx Books Max 2, mouthful for sure, which is a 13.3-inch e-ink display running Android 6.0.
I don't know that I've seen an e-ink display that large.
Yeah, so there have been a couple of devices. Sony has actually had a couple of generations of e-readers that have been this size using similar panels, but they're just e-readers. They're running Android in the background, but you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
The thing about this is it's open. It has the Play Store on it, has all the Google Play services, which is honestly kind of unexpected for a generic Chinese Android tablet. You usually have to sideload that stuff on. This actually seems to be official. I think you can get like the ROM sources and stuff like that out there, like it's an actual Android implementation. And you can install anything on it.
There's a 3D Mark icon on that.
Yeah, so I got a bit, me with it and kind of started pushing the limits. I installed
I scored 2.
Yeah.
alternate launchers, alternate keyboards. You couldn't change the default launcher, which you're looking at right now, but like you can, if you go to the app icon, you can launch another launcher if you want to look like a real Android tablet. But their UI is actually pretty good. It's basic, but it's centered around things like reading and just launching simple apps. Yeah, this is it running 3D
Boy,
Mark.
that looks great.
So to be fair, this
So
was
if you take LSD and you watch 3D Mark, you're gonna be really effed
I
up.
mean, I've seen rolling shutter before.
well,
but this is
not quite that.
This is
so
kinda
this was not in
ridiculous.
A2 mode, which is the faster refresh, lower color mode. This was in the default mode.
wait,
videos you've been
scroll back
watching.
up to see what other videos you like
Yeah,
watching.
I'm a little bit
The
worried
heck
about
is-
that.
Yes.
Holy shit!
Cutting a guitar
Right.
pick?
All
So,
right,
Let's go back up towards the top.
Oh,
Oh,
that's,
what's this one?
it could be worse, to tell you the truth. But I noticed that one.
This new
The
car
new
was
car
lying
from
underground for 50
Oklahoma.
years.
I don't think it's new anymore.
I mean,
Well,
I
not
might
so
still,
much.
you
It
know.
had to be heavily
Scroll.
restored. But
I'm going.
It's one of
yeah.
those
No, other
like
way.
new.
Oh, go the other way.
Let's take a look at the specs real quick since we kind of glossed over that.
Okay.
So it is running a Rock chip RK3288 Cortex A17 based quad core processor at 1.6 gigahertz. This, you may have never heard of this chip, oddly enough, but it's actually in a lot of Chromebooks and it's in the Asus Tinkerboard. So there's actually a decent amount of support around this chip.
boy, an A17? That's
It's cutting edge.
That's so old. But you know, what do you expect from something named Onyx Books?
Books. Yeah,
Books, Max. There's too many X's in those that name.
it really is.
Triple X. Get it? It's hard on the eyes.
Yeah.
Sort of the other interesting feature about this, besides e-reading, it does the e-reading stuff really well. It supports more of the open formats like Mobi and PDFs. It renders PDFs really well. If you ever try to convert a PDF to a Kindle format, you know how much of a nightmare that is.
Yeah.
It just
It's a nightmare.
doesn't work at all.
Yeah, it really doesn't
the
work.
formatting never comes in correctly. You can just plug this into your PC, mount it as a drive, drag the PDF over, open it on the device, renders perfectly. It is close to an A2 size of paper. It's a little bit scaled down, the 13.3 inch device. So that's cool.
Hey, so since we're in the X thing,
X gonna give it to you.
yeah, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Why in the hell is it $7.99?
Yeah, that is kind of high.
Have you heard about the supply and demand curve, John?
I am unfamiliar with such curves.
As it turns out, they probably don't make a whole lot of these.
Yeah.
Someone in the comment was saying the display from E-Ink themselves, which is the company that makes it, is $450 alone. So you slap in some Android components and you package it and you start to. They probably don't have a lot of margin on this thing, even at $800.
And you realize you're selling it to a bunch of obsessed people. You
Yeah,
can
this-
charge what you want.
It's a very niche product, to say the least.
I mean, the text does look good.
It's a very
Yeah.
beautiful display, but
Yeah.
wasn't one of the promises of e-ink that it was going to be cheaper?
Well, you need more
yeah.
volume. You need more
I mean, you
volume.
can only manipulate so many magnetic fields on a big thing. Let me ask you this: is it backlit or side lit?
It isn't.
It's
It isn't lit at
It
all.
isn't
Not
lit
lit.
at all. That's one of the major
So-
downsides.
This ain't lit.
Not lit AF.
Oh man.
Yeah, you definitely need your own external light. It's like using an original Game Boy. You need to have the worm light attached to it.
Wait, you can use it as a display?
Yeah, so it has a micro HDMI in port, and you just load the quote unquote display app on the tablet, and you can use it as an HDMI display. So we have it here hooked up to a PC. It presents at like 2180 by 1800, which is,
That's actually kind of dense.
yeah, V dense.
Surprisingly so.
But if you think about, if you're someone who's like looking at PDF documentation all day, you could have this set up next to your monitor as something that's a little easier to read. You had it in portrait mode. You could even put code over there. Like you could,
Yeah.
you can use this as a display. One of the things I tried was buying a cheap keyboard dock, Bluetooth keyboard dock, and using it to write on. And you definitely see the text trail in a little bit. It's something you can get used to. I sort of trained myself to do it. I wrote a lot of this review on the device just to see if I could do it. And it worked all right-ish. Sebastian and I have had this thing going back and forth where we want essentially like an e-ink netbook that we can write on, because I get distracted by these computers with all their fancy notifications and stuff. If you have an e-ink display, you're not really going to want to do anything else on it, as it turns out, because the refresh is so slow. You're not going to want to browse the internet on it, even though this does have a browser. But
Oh, how does scrolling feel?
Yeah, it's got to be a nightmare.
I mean,
Like reading is fine, but
yeah. If you're like, I mean, it depends on if it has more of the page rendered or not. So if the app you're using is only rendering
Yeah.
the visible area, it's kind of a nightmare when you want to go to scroll. But it has full Wacom stylus support, and drawing on it was actually pretty good. Like the latency didn't affect that really. So it is faster than you think, but still not really ready for primetime use for productivity.
okay.
I don't know. It's just such a weird thing that I wanted to get my hands on it and just see what it was like. Like we said, it's $800. They have the Onyx Note, which is the 10.3 inch version, which is on Amazon for $550, which is way more reasonable if you're someone who needs to look at a lot of documentation, like 100-page PDFs. You could begin to justify it, I think. But that does not have the HDMI in, I believe. So there's some trade-offs there.
What's the battery life on this?
Approximately 7 years.
Standby was actually worse than you think it would be. It was only a couple of days on standby because it is an Android device. It was connected to the network. It was checking for, like, it was waking up and checking for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it isn't as good as a Kindle in that respect because it's doing more
doing more
Android
stuff,
like.
yeah.
So it's,
like
so it's kind of
things.
like my 15-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Checking for stuff
All right.
on the internet.
Always checking for stuff on the internet.
Always checking.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's see. Next up, Sebastian reviewed a case. Bitfinex Portal. Definitely looks.
It's very
It's
Portal-esque.
very Portal-like. Just needs a couple of guns on the side of it.
You know what?
And
This
a
is a
speaker.
triumph. I'm making a note here.
Yep.
Huge success.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Compact aluminum mini ITX case. So let's see what it looks like. How small is this? We need some scale. There's some USB ports. Okay.
Like that looks bigger than I would expect
Yeah.
for an ITX.
It's
Yeah,
a
it
fair
does.
size.
I'm trying to get to like where something's open here so we can see inside the thing. Need to see inside the thing. Interior. Yeah, it comes apart.
Oh, look how it pulls
Nice.
out. Oh, my God.
Comes apart like the robots did.
I'm
It's like vomiting on you.
That's that's nice. That's a nice case.
But I believe there was something there where it said there was
those
a.
photos.
Hey, they're nice,
Also,
aren't
yeah,
they?
nice photos.
The it's like got a dual rail system, so like the whole thing splits apart, and you can actually get at things pretty easy.
All right, so there's a 2.5 slot GPU from the looks of it, right?
That's a 2-slot.
That's just a 2-slot GPU? Okay,
It's a
so that's giving
reference
you some
card.
scale. There's a power supply at the bottom there, and there's one of those big honkin' Noctua.
Here we go.
I don't think it's a big
uh,
honking one.
That's a pretty beefy one.
185 by 382 by 411.
Says that nothing to anybody that's listening to this podcast.
Can I get that? In
Oh, that's
for-
cool.
Yeah,
Merc-
That top window where you can see the top of the
Yeah,
that's
see the top of the
cool.
GPU.
I like that.
is nice. It is nice.
So is this an officially licensed?
No. No.
I'm surprised that's not, because that's
Are you surprised it's not?
it's definitely some kind of styling that's like right out of that.
It's kind of curious how this ever got made.
It's true. How much is it? Didn't see a price anywhere.
$99.
Oh,
That's it.
well,
That's
that's what happens when you don't pay licensing fees.
Yes.
All right. I mean, sharp looking case. I could
It's just begging for case mods.
I could see myself building one of those for somebody.
And it's about 7 by 15 by 16 if you have to be that way.
To be American.
way to be that way.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. What do we got next? Chris wrote up Corsair K63 wireless mechanical gaming keyboard. It looks like it's...
Some mean bastard stole the mouse pad and the mouse.
Wait a minute. It looks like it's backlit too?
It's
Yeah.
got bees.
It's a wireless...
Let me tell you about this cool invention called batteries.
No, I get it, but usually they try not to do that because, like, the batteries go pretty quick.
That's why they took the R's and the G's away.
Oh.
It only does B's.
Oh, just
Yeah,
only
you
bees?
get 60% more battery life that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I see.
Makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Well, I only run my RGB keyboards in rainbow mode, so that would be true.
Also true. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What do we
Cherry
got
red
here?
switches.
Yeah, cherry reds. Yep. What is this adapter thingy for? Is that just to get you to micro USB?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's what
Dongle.
you connect to for charging.
Oh. Okay.
And away you go.
All right. Did he say how long it goes on? Oh, so it uses the same software. Wonder how long it goes on a charge with the lights on. and
13
stuff.
hours-ish.
Huh.
Yeah, 13 it said.
And that's at maximum
Unfortunately, it was
brightness.
quoted at 15, so, I mean, that's not horrible, but
Yeah.
not great.
And you don't have to go with the max brightness. Like, especially if it's blue LEDs. Like I usually don't run it like
Yeah.
the max.
So
With the
it has-
backlight off, it's 75 hours.
And so,
Yeah, that's pretty
like,
good.
you guys played with the lapdog, right?
We did. But it was
And
wired.
so, with that one, when you were attaching the keyboard, you sort of had to screw it in more or less to get it to stay.
Yeah.
So with this, there's a little clip system. And so the keyboard just slides right in, clicks in at the back, and then there's two little tabs at the front. Come up and hold it in. So it doesn't actually go anywhere.
That's a way better idea.
Yeah.
It's a much
Hey,
better-
I got to stop you right here.
Okay.
Huh?
Is this compatible with the Couchmaster?
Everything's compatible with the Couchmaster.
Oh, yeah.
That's the beauty of the Couchmaster.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of the Couchmaster.
Yeah,
It
the
is the master
lapdog.
of its domain.
The lapdog, like, really, you just kind of built the keyboard into it. Like, it had, like, hex screws, I think,
Yeah.
and, like,
And so you
plates
see
above
on the
it.
side there is a missing mouse pad and mouse. And having read a couple different review and knowing that In the Pipes is someone who's going to be reviewing this, that is a key compatible mouse pad,
Gee.
or key if you prefer. You can literally, the wireless mouse charges on it. It's got a little puck that'll stick out so you can charge your phones and such without blocking the mouse mat. Although from the,
Hold on.
it's a fair size. So
Wait.
you could probably have your phone on there and still use the mouse.
But you have the wireless keyboard there.
Yep.
How are you powering the charger?
I assume there's some sort of universal battery that is in the
way to
lab.
plug it in.
So I hear you're like recharging your battery. So we're gonna use a battery, recharge your battery.
I see.
It seems like you could put a lot of 18650s in that lap board.
Oh, sure. Sure, yeah.
Just what I want sitting on my crotch is a big pile of 18650s.
So the keyboard and the lap board is 170.
It's actually bad compared to their high-end wired RGB options. Like if you're looking for the couch experience, you couldn't really do any better than a wireless solution with actually something to put on your lap.
Yeah.
Think of how much a Couchmaster would cost on top of a keyboard, and it wouldn't even be wireless.
Wouldn't even.
Wouldn't even be wireless.
But you know what? The Couchmaster feels
yeah.
like someone's hugging your hips. You can't put a price on that. I
And
mean,
you
you
can't fake
could, but you have to go to bad parts of town.
All right, so let's get into news items. Kicking it off with Tim's post on HyperX launching Predator DDR4 RGB. Ugh, RGB.
Infrared sync.
They've got infrared.
Oh, wait, these are the ones we saw at CES that actually stay in sync with each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they have to be next to each other.
They're next to each other anyways.
Not always. Sometimes there's some on one side of the CPU and some on the other side of the CPU.
Oh, so this won't cover banks?
No.
It won't shoot across a cooler?
No.
No, it's there's this big infrared signature in the middle of the DIMMs.
Yeah, but they have to be like next to each other for it to
Well,
work.
that seems-
Or at least they did at CES.
That seems like not a great engineering solution
Well-
to things.
You know. Anyway, so if you have a motherboard where these things are in a row like that, then
If you
yeah.
want to buy too many of them, we can't help you. If
that
you
well
want to buy
actually,
more than 4 of them, we can't help you at all.
yeah.
I imagine they still have software that controls them, right?
Yeah,
Aura
they-
sync.
So
they still
you can
have
have both
that.
banks synced at least.
Yes, but only once you're like in your OS and the
Yeah.
software is, fired up and everything. So, if you want your RAM modules talking amongst themselves, then I guess this is for you.
This is how Skynet started.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
First they start with the RAM. Then they're killing your kids with robots and stuff. MSRP 257 for 16 gig, 513 for 32 gig. God, that's a lot of money.
Pricey, even in today's RAM economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about $70 more than a
Oh, wait.
decent kit.
Those
Yeah.
are the MSRPs, and then
245.
Yeah, they're going for
the street.
245 and 492 for 32
better.
gig. That's still up there.
So it's like a $30 premium, it says there, over the standard offerings.
Infrared don't come for free.
Well, but $30 isn't that bad for a little bit of bling.
It's only 3,000. Like you can get 3,200
Yeah.
16 gig kits for around $200, I think. obviously,
180 on sale.
yeah, obviously, this is not a product aimed towards value, right? It never will be if it's RGB enabled.
Yeah, that's the thing where you're going for the specific look, and you honestly, within reason, don't care if the price is higher.
Yeah.
Really.
You don't know what I care about.
Yeah, we have a pretty good idea, Josh. Velocity Micro unleashes Epic Pro Magix HD 150 workstation. Gee, it's as if the naming is trying to.
That is a way too complex name for such a simple looking case.
Well, it's meant to be Threadripper, but they called it Epic.
No. It's
No?
a single socket Epic based system.
Oh,
That slots between the existing Threadripper based system and dual socket Epic workstations.
well, that's interesting.
It's cool. We haven't seen a lot of Epic workstations. It's kind of that weird territory. You see,
Yeah.
You definitely see Xeon workstations, and they have the Xeon W chip specifically for that.
So that's got
But-
it's a long ass case,
Yeah, it's a big chassis.
sort of like that Super Micro one that you used for a while.
No, it's not quite like that.
No, it's not like that. It's like a server, basically server
No,
motherboard in a case.
that's an AT. Well, maybe EATX, I think.
Yeah,
Well, no, that actually looks like a server motherboard, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yep.
That's my
Okay.
point. Like those cases tend to be on the large side.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the 1080 Ti stuck in there.
yeah.
One of these things is not like the other.
So on the front there, are those heat? No, scroll back down.
Yeah.
On the bottom right corner of that picture,
Uh-huh.
is that a fan with a shroud on top of it?
It sure
Or-
looks like it.
I guess.
I
The
see
added
heat
cards.
pipes and everything.
I don't know if those are heat pipes or just bolts.
It
Or
looks
studs
like,
or
it looks like
something?
it's Well, that's the only picture we got. So
I could see it being like some additional cooling for the I/O, because in a machine like this, you're going to throw a ton of add-in cards, a ton of GPUs to do machine learning or something like that.
Yeah.
You have all the lanes with the Epic, so
And the front looks solid.
But speaking of us knowing what
Yeah.
Josh likes, there's a slot for that Blu-ray player. Huh? Huh, Josh?
He wasn't paying attention.
Huh? You must be muted.
You know, I stopped listening to you about 3 minutes ago. But yes, optical drives are going to be the second coming once the apocalypse hits and the tsunamis come. Then, without internet, you're going to want your physical media right next to you so you can watch movies in the ashes of civilization.
Josh is going to be the CD-ROM and Blu-ray and DVD-ROM dealer that you go to after the apocalypse.
You know
are you
how fast
buying?
you can rip a CD with the Kenwood 57X?
bingo.
It was the
It
true
was a once
X.
time-honored way of making a life that's gone astray, but maybe it'll come back. CDs out of the car boot.
Damn Kenwood drives. Still pissed off at them. Anyway, next up, AMD and the 4K secret. Jeremy, what the heck are you talking about?
Well, AMD's wonderful marketing team decided, one, not to send out an email that the newest Adrenaline edition came out with a couple of fixes, but wasn't necessarily a game-ready one or their equivalent. But one thing that did sneak in there that absolutely didn't even make it most of the notes was support for 4K Netflix, because they haven't had compatibility with the PlayReady 3.0 that you need for HDCP 2.2, which you need to play 4K Netflix. They finally did it.
So I believe this is Polaris only right now.
I believe you're right.
And so
Wouldn't
it's
you
not
think they'd
Vega
be
yet?
more vocal?
I would. I don't know.
I think it's because it's kind of like a beta thing, and it only works on Polaris. Like they would probably wait until it works on Vega as well to push out the PR.
NVIDIA did it like 8 or 9 months
Yeah,
ago.
they are
and
super behind on this between Intel, the integrated drivers, and NVIDIA's drivers. This
Maybe
is
they're just-
sorely needed. I ran into this a couple weeks ago where I had a Vega 64 installed, and I was doing some FreeSync HDR testing, and then I went to test HDR video. Yeah,
of course you
load up the
couldn't.
Netflix app. It's like, nope, does not work.
So maybe that's why they're not calling attention to it. They're just like, oh, let's just not talk about
But
that.
it's still worth letting people know.
Yeah, much needed.
Okay. Next up, also Jeremy, Cooler Master Case.
Master Mesh version.
That looks cool.
And you thought
It
that last
kinda
case
does.
was big.
This is 200 millimeter fans up front.
Yeah. That's very nice. Actually, 200 millimeter fans are huge. Jeez.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
They're like
they
dinner
are.
plate size.
Someone needs to post that to our confusing perspective because that thing's
For
huge.
many years, 200 millimeters was the preferred wafer size of most semiconductor firms.
That was also what came in that one, like the Antec. Antec was making those cases with the 200 millimeter fan on
The
top.
spider thing.
No, it was just like a regular, it was just
Yeah.
a big ass fan on the top.
That still looks like a spider. In
Like the
front.
P170s. Or,
Yep.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
the P180s. Corsair also has done their fair share of that with like the Carbide series.
But yeah, like it's just a hair under 2 feet tall.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a big case.
What graphics card is in there that looks so massive? That's got to be looks like a pretty old graphics card.
Yeah,
It's
They
a
had to
real.
figure
That's like a
price.
GTX 7 something.
it does look like that.
That's like a 295.
What do we got out back, John? We just need to throw something in this case for a picture.
The biggest one you
Here, let me
got.
blow the dust off of this damn thing.
Don't put that 1060 in there. Give me something else.
You wouldn't even be able to see it.
All right. Next. TikTok boom. Oh. So are we not a waltz anymore? What are we now?
Well, you know
mess.
that hot new processor that was going to be released in 2016?
It's not 2016
they-
anymore.
Well, it ain't
Yeah, it
coming out
never
this
showed
year
up.
either.
Oh. Okay.
How about
Been
that
pushed
hot
back
new
to 2019.
processor in 2017?
Nope.
So when it didn't come out in 2016, that's why we did the third talk or whatever, right? We want TikTok something else.
Talk.
TikTok
Yeah,
talk,
did
right?
they get rid of that?
There's a wall.
It's more like TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so they're not doing the 10 nanometer. So what are they doing?
That's a good question.
Oh,
14 plus plus for the win.
plus?
No, just plus plus so far.
Oh, okay.
There may be a plus plus plus, but
So is this another optimized cycle then?
Well,
It's hey, we have that Skylake architecture designed for 14 nanometers. We're gonna have to release that again this year.
sure
or
is
the Canon
polished.
and the Mo-
All right.
But
And to make it even more funny, the H310 chipset, apparently they're having supply problems with it, and essentially it be sold out. So system builders can't buy them in bulk or singly. Neither can we.
That's actually secretly good news for Intel, though, because it means their 14 nanometer process is running at near 100% utilization if they can't make any more of their chipsets.
It's true.
It's bad that they went to 14 nanometer for the chipsets because they're usually a process behind, but they didn't get 10 nanometers on the CPUs. So the chipsets they designed, it's just that shit rolls downhill as it turns out.
N plus 1 turns into N plus 0.
All right, next. Let's see. Corsair launches new spec Omega RGB case. So I get it, what they're doing here. They're kind of matching the little bar they put, the little white, bar they put along the top edge of their newer keyboards now. Except they're putting it on the front of the case. And I'm guessing you can control that thing, or is it just sit there
you
as
can
a
control
rainbow?
everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
It's just one of the cooler RGB implementations I've seen because it's either black or white, or black and white. So you can just have an accent color.
yeah.
Right, like if you like white and red and black, or black and
I assume
purple.
it's just configurable with the same software with their, probably.
yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
like
so.
you actually get a controller with it,
Okay.
and then you just use IQ. It's really asymmetrical. Like it kind of looks like it's leaning forward, depending on how you look at it.
Oh yeah, so you can't tell that much from that, but if you look here,
Yeah.
it is leaning
So I
forward.
believe the chassis itself didn't really change from the regular spec cases.
I
I
think
think
there's
it's
just a different fascio.
So would you
Yeah.
say this is a leaning tower?
Yeah, it's definitely a leaning
sort of.
tower.
A leaning tower of RGB.
Mm-hmm.
54 RGBs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of
What do you do?
RGBs.
What?
What are you gonna do
You know
with
what,
all that RGB?
I can't foresee a future where anybody needs more than 54 RGBs.
You can play cards with them. Yeah.
2 jokers, correct?
And the other fancy thing about this guy is he's a little bit larger than he looks. It seems to be a theme tonight. On the top, you can fit a 360 mil radiator,
Oh, wow.
240 mil in the front, and a 120 mil in the back, all at the same time.
Huh.
There is clearance.
Oh, so the clearance is on top of the fans for the top one.
Yeah.
Then
Does this
probably.
come with any RGB fans?
2 of them in the front.
Well, that's not bad. Considering
But
what
the-
they charge for the RGB
I
fans.
assume the controller can handle more than 2.
I think
Yeah,
their-
well, and it's also handling the weight stripe.
yeah. I think the controller can handle 6 fans normally, so probably 3 more fans. 'cause
Yeah,
you
so
assume
they
the
have 6
case is
fans.
an RGB
They have
channel.
6 fans lit up in this
Yeah.
picture. So
It's expandable to 256 fans because it's 8-bit.
I saw what he
Sure,
did there.
why not?
Wah, wah.
no, it might be. That might actually be it. Okay.
Speaking of
Many
bits,
addressable LEDs.
Speaking.
We had to go to IPv6 for LED control.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of bits, nice segue, Ken. Microsoft released a 64-bit SDK for Windows on ARM platforms.
so the way it currently works, you can only run ARM32 applications and Win32 applications that are being emulated
Yep.
on the Windows on Snapdragon stuff. At Build, Microsoft has released the SDKs to develop native 64-bit applications. So this would mostly be like UWP apps that you compile towards an ARM64 target. They were actually advertising distributing them not through the store as well as through the store. So that's promising. It won't be something that's tied to the store. But essentially, if you have the right development environment and you can compile an ARM64 target with your Windows app without everything breaking, then you can now distribute. Like one of the kind of major apps that doesn't work on the Windows on Snapdragon stuff currently is Photoshop Elements, which is a 64-bit store app that there was no SDK they could even possibly use to compile to 64-bit ARM.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It's actually kind of stupid because you could buy it in the store if you had another PC linked to your Microsoft account. Be like, oh, you can buy this, and then you couldn't download it on your ARM device. And it's like $100 app. So so that's something that we hopefully see fixed with this. Interestingly enough, you could run regular Photoshop in emulation mode because there's still a 32-bit version of regular Photoshop. But it was Photoshop Elements that was kind of one of the major sticking points.
Interesting.
Yeah, still no 64-bit x86 emulation, but that would be a while.
Okay. Next up, holy crap, you can buy GPUs again. Sort of.
Past tense.
Well, no, I mean, there's still some in stock, actually. I checked before we started. GeForce GTX cards are back in stock at MSRP pricing, and they're that's at the...
We'll say around MSRP pricing.
well, they're close. Specifically, like the reference designs at the NVIDIA, like the Founder Editions at the NVIDIA site. And we found some on like Amazon and Newegg and stuff.
Yeah, but the ones at Amazon and Newegg are a little bit above. Well, it's difficult to tell because no one really knows the exact MSRPs for a lot of these add-in cards. But like
Yeah.
the Asus GTX 1080 Turbo, which is the blower, is probably not supposed to be $570, considering your reference 1080 is $500.
Yeah, that's true.
So, well, reference 1080 they have is $550. Didn't they lower that price to $500 when they launched the 1080 Ti?
I think so.
Lol.
I think so.
Oh,
So they're-
Nvidia.
So they're still kind of up there.
Sneaky, sneaky.
But I think 300 is what the 1060 was supposed to be.
Yeah, the rest of those seem right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, 1080 was $499. Did they drop the 1070 as well when they did that? I don't think they did.
Is that
No, I don't think they
1060
did.
the 3 gig or the 6 gig version?
I believe that's the 6 gig.
I don't think they're really selling.
No, they're selling both of them.
They're still
Oh, they
selling
are.
They're
those.
selling 3.
I don't know
Oh,
if there's a
yeah.
reference 3 gig version, but
Hmm.
I could be wrong.
All right. Well, keep an eye out if you've been putting
Oh
off.
wait, no, the 1070 MSRP was supposed to be $349 as well. It's selling at $399.
Yeah, gosh, shock and awe.
Come on, Nvidia, don't sell $50 above MSRP.
Sad
You know
part
how
is we're
much
kind
beer
of
I
happy
can buy
about
with
it.
$50?
Don't send an email out telling us that you can buy a graphics card at MSRP again if you're charging $50 more than.
You know, they just adjusted the MSRP. I mean, it is NVIDIA.
Sure, like yes, but
The MSRP is $1 million. Anyway.
Wrong finger,
Yeah,
asshole.
sorry, whatever.
Not my finger.
Speaking of wrong finger,
Oh,
cats and
dear
dogs living together. Linux on Chromium. Mass hysteria. Go ahead, Jeremy.
End of the world, man. End of the world. I mean, earlier today or earlier this week, I had to publish that Microsoft's best-selling server right now is running Linux. And now, for some reason, Chromium is going to start allowing you to run a Gentoo-based one, which is going to be essentially compatible with anything that you can run on Gentoo.
Wait. Gentoo? The article said Debian.
Oh, is it Debian?
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's Debian.
I'm reading it wrong. I'm reading something else.
That would
yeah,
that
so
would have
if
been a
it
weird
runs
turn
like
of
that,
events.
Yeah, Gentoo on that piece of hardware would be a very, very, very long process.
that would be painful, wouldn't it? But long story short is that this looks to be a way to get people developing apps for Chromium, which nobody has really been doing. Strangely enough, sort of like Windows S.
Well, you don't. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to make any sense or not, but it certainly doesn't hurt to give you a bit more of a choice.
Well, the Inquirer article was kind of thin on details.
Yes, very thin.
And now my experience with Chromium is very, very limited. But it was my impression that actually is basically just the stock Linux under the covers with a nice shiny UI on top of it. Is that the situation with Chromium?
Yes and no. It's also Chrome OS. Chromium is the browser, right?
Right.
So it's Chrome OS, not Chromium.
Sorry. Yeah, Chrome OS.
But yeah, I think it's kind of diverged from that a little bit. There's an open source thing called Crouton for running essentially Linux on top of Chrome OS, from what I remember.
Is it crunchy?
Yeah.
Is it garlicky?
So it is still under there. I actually believe they're calling this Crostini because it's not quite a crouton, which is funny.
Yeah. So they mentioned Git, Sublime, Vim, Android Studio. So what I'm wondering is this just like a thin X layer on top of things, or
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's in the beta channel right now, I think, for the Pixelbook, which nobody has because it's $1,000 Chromebook, and why would you buy that besides Google employees? But yeah,
Sebastian.
I'm interested to check it out. I think this could make a Chromebook a whole lot usable for sort of a power user. But then, it's a weird dichotomy of people who would want to use Chrome OS, but would also be comfortable using Linux. But
It's like, I want to run Windows 10 S with apps that aren't from the Microsoft Store. No, just no. But this seems to be an attempt to do the equivalent.
Well, we were chatting beforehand, before the podcast, about this, and to me, as a mobile road warrior who does Linux support, if you can get a Chromebook that has great battery life, a full Linux suite, and a built-in, SIM card, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
for that kind of usage.
I had a friend who bought an 11-inch, $350 Intel Chromebook and put Linux on it, and he's a developer, and he would use that as just a lightweight, good battery life machine he would carry around to have a terminal and just kind of mess around and stuff, be able to remote into stuff, and it worked really well for that. And now you wouldn't have to hack it; you could just pull that stuff up. You could pull up and Git and pull down code and edit in Vim and whatever.
Yeah, I'm also interested to get my hands on this because this is kind of cool.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, signing up for the software is easy. Affording the Pixelbook, maybe not.
I started looking at Pixelbooks today. I really like to get my hands on one because it's a really well built piece of hardware that's limited by the operating system. But I think I'll wait until this becomes a real release before I.
And they make it.
I've been saying that about myself for a long time.
The software's letting you down.
My hardware it's all there, but the software, yeah,
No comment.
none.
All right. Next up, Google and Qualcomm partner for faster Android P upgrade adoption. Ken?
So, for those of you not familiar, in Android
I'm not familiar. Explain it to me in detail.
Well, Josh, in Android 8.0, Google has this initiative called Project Treble. Essentially, that's decoupling all of the proprietary SoC bits from the operating system, so all of the drivers and like networking code and all of that were tied in directly into the operating system of the ROM, which meant that OEMs had to work with Qualcomm to package updates for every specific device. They couldn't just kind of be given the proprietary blob and say, here you go. So with Project Treble, if you scroll down a little bit, Alan,
I'm getting more educated by the second. Keep going.
no, scroll up to the second half of the chart you're on. Now all the proprietary vendor stuff sits on a separate layer that Qualcomm can just kind of universally update. So that's kind of the news here, is that Qualcomm and Google have been working together for Android P, which Google just released the developer preview of this week at I/O, to sort of provide Android P support for Snapdragon 845, 660, and scroll down a little bit. I can't remember the other one. And 636 based devices. So
is this kind of like Windows 95, the way it updates?
pretty much.
I'm glad that we've come so far with Android.
Yeah. So
does this mean my Kobo Aura Glow 7 is going to be updatable now?
Well, it means it's in the hands of Kobo and not Qualcomm anymore.
Oh, well, great.
So one of the cool results we've seen of this is that the developer preview program for Android P, which came out this week, in the past, all the developer preview programs have only been Nexus and Pixel devices, because it's something like Android or Google needs to completely pick the OS. They use the handsets they had control of. But now there are betas available for a bunch of different phones. You can see listed here: the Essential phone, the Sony Xperia XZ2, some Vivo phones, some Xiaomi phones, which I
don't see
in that
my
article.
LG G3 here.
Yeah,
And
weird.
Maury rejoiced. Nobody else did.
Yeah. So it's putting the ball into the OEM's courts, but I still don't know if this is going to make people like Samsung actually put out these updates in a timely fashion. And you still have the whole vendor approval, like the carrier approval thing we have in the US, where for some reason Verizon needs to qualify your Android update on your Samsung phone, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but we're getting there.
They're worried it's going to take over their network.
Yeah. But it was cool to see a bunch of different phones available for the developer program as opposed to just Nexus and Pixel phones this week. It's a little bit of promise, at least.
All right. Sweet. Okay. Next up, we got Picks of the Week. I think we're kicking it off with Jeremy, right?
I don't know. Are we?
Well, it's a Newegg Canada link, so I hope
Yep.
it's Jeremy.
Yep. That's why there's an A at the end of it.
Yeah.
So you're building yourself a Ryzen machine and you're on a bit of a budget. So you're looking for fast RAM, but it's not going to cost you $500. Well, it's not even on special. It's just a weird price for the G.Skill Ripjaw's DDR4 3600, where you get a pair of 4 gig just for $150.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
That's not bad.
And that's
It's
150
damn cheap.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. And
Oh, well,
3600.
it's 8 gig.
So
I'm sorry, it's not 16 gigs. So
No, it's 8 gig.
Yeah, it's all right.
How much is a 16 gig kit going for?
roughly twice.
Okay.
Little bit. You'd be better off buying 2 of those kits.
And then can I like change this to
I don't think that works,
COM
but
and
we can try.
will that work?
Wow, it does work.
Oh my god.
Wow,
Wait,
238 for the 16 gig kit of 3600.
that's not bad.
Pretty good. That's cheaper than that RGB memory.
And then that's,
It's not.
that's 114 for 8 gig.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy
good.
cheap for.
You'll see a good performance benefit going to 3600 on Ryzen. And Ryzen
Yeah, that's true.
2000.
Your
Sure
Intel won't
can.
care so much, but
Was it okay? So 1.35 volts, assuming for the 3600 speed. Its timing seem longer than I would expect, but it is a high.
Well, it's 3600.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
like,
That seems about right.
okay.
Yeah.
for that price, you can't complain.
Take it down to 3200. Knock the timings down. Be happy.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're on Ryzen specifically, like you're just worried about a faster, like, frequency for it, and you can let the timings be looser and still be okay with that. You're still going to get the performance benefit of, just running at the 3600 speed.
Yeah, but it's good because it's relatively cheap and it gets delivered to your house. You don't have to go to the bad part of town.
Why do they even bother with these PC numbers anymore?
It's a weird legacy.
PC4 28,800. Like, what's going to happen? 5 years from now?
It's kind of like a modem speed. You know what I'm saying?
It's 28.8.
Wait, that isn't in BOD?
PC5 56K.
All right,
Me.
Josh.
Hey. There's something wrong with me.
Did I click on the right link?
Oh no.
What the
I
hell
hope
is
so.
this?
Oh no.
What?
When I
is-
get frustrated, I want to squeeze the chicken and pop out an egg.
Squeeze or choke?
Whatever. The
Oh,
best part about this is, okay, there are two parts. There are multiple, actually. It's less than $2
what is it?
with $1.50 shipping.
Not even Prime.
Okay.
Funny decompression chicken toy squeeze, then lay eggs. Reduce stress relief ball novelty, venting anger toys.
And then the egg.
Venting
comes
anger
out.
toys. Soft PVC.
Oh, it's
Keep
like
away from bad mood. Relax at all times.
it's like all bloated.
Lovely and interesting hen when squeezed and pressed to lay eggs. Just squeeze it and make it fun. Interesting spoof toys make you feel relaxed. I mean, how can you beat that?
What are the 7
could
applicable
beat it,
promotions?
Oh, I gotta see
You know, it's
this.
the best. It's the best $4 anybody could ever spend.
Save 20% on Smiley Tortoise Scented Charm Slow
No.
Rising Squeeze Stress Reliever
The
toy.
second one. The second one.
Pop out
Tony's-
stress reliever, lovely pig squeeze vent toy.
Lovely pig squeeze
Save-
vent.
Hold
toy.
on. Save 10% on adorable pony slow rising cream squeeze. Yeah, it's like what the heck?
That sounds like you've gone to the bad part
I
of
mean,
the
you
internet.
probably have to click that now, huh?
No, do not click that. That only goes bad places.
I'm clicking it. What is? Oh,
It's the pony.
well, it is adorable.
Squeeze cream.
But you squeeze it, and then what happens?
Squeeze scented cured toys.
I don't
It's a
see.
scented cure
I don't
toy.
see slow rising cream squeeze anywhere on this. Anyway, this is just this is going downhill really fast here. All right, so choke Josh's
Yeah,
chicken.
buy
I
the
guess.
chicken. You know what I mean.
Okay. Next up's me. In the past, I have done picks where it's like, hey, here's this thing that'll let you put gadgets back in like Windows 10 and stuff.
Why?
Well, the reason I did it was because I wanted
They're
like,
coming back again.
well, I like the only reason I use it is for like the CPU monitor and the like GPU monitor, like those little widgets that just show you the status of like what's going on, right?
Go back to Vista.
It's currently powered on.
Well,
Thank you.
So the problem is that like those existing gadgets that had been
Stopped working.
well, no, they just stopped showing some of the information about newer generation GPUs, and they were just hadn't been supported. And
Barn and shot is
Well,
what they were.
so this guy Igor, who's obviously overseas, has like redeveloped all of these same things, like new, like to work with current generation stuff. And they're actually like way more customizable than the.
Alan's too good to run HW Info 64. He needs his information
No,
in
I
a
want
widget
it.
form.
I want it real time on a widget. That's just on my background all the time. So they're free apps. I mean, they're pretty. I mean, it's. Whoa, where'd the screen go? I think I was trying to do a pop up here. Look at that System Monitor app.
It looks like it's out of 1998.
Well, he's going for this. It's a gadget theme thing. Like, there's a certain, like, they're all supposed to look like that, kind of. Anyway.
My thoughts exactly.
The GPU monitor one's, I mean, it's pretty cool. Just saying.
Blinking lights.
Yeah.
You just want the blinking lights.
Yeah. Basically. Just want stuff to look at. Makes it look like the computer's doing stuff.
So you want to make it look like it's working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to make, anyway.
He's the reason that computers make noises on Star Trek.
Yeah. exactly. Anyway, so if you're into that gadget thing and you just refuse to like let that go, then this guy is your savior because Anyway,
We all need a savior.
You need a chicken.
Ken, what do you got?
Yeah, the chicken for only $3.75. It's
The shipping almost
saving
costs
me
more than
right
the
now.
chicken.
And you can
I
squeeze
don't
it in
know.
real time.
You can't see how many eggs I'm laying right at the
Do
moment.
you have one of
but
those chickens on your desk?
Maybe.
Like, what's the
Asking Josh if he has something on his desk is
How big is your
kinda
chicken,
silly.
Josh?
what does the egg look like?
Wait. Did we just win at Stump
know.
the Josh?
He can't
You
find
don't
it.
want to know.
He can't find
I don't
it.
have one of these. Come on.
Oh,
It's a pick. It was funny. Made
okay.
me laugh.
I'm really disappointed.
Ah.
now.
I'm disappointed too. I expect to see one of those in your hand next week, Josh.
Well, I do have one of these.
Oh man.
That's not the same.
I got a golf club with holes in the fingers
A golf club?
because I can have
Wow.
it with me. I have a high
You should clean your desk sometime,
wide
Josh.
fridge.
What is okay. All right, Ken. Now what do you got?
So I've been keeping an eye on this. We reviewed the XPS 13 9370, the 2018 version, the redesign, a couple months ago, back towards the beginning of the year. And I've been thinking about buying one. The MSRPs are fairly reasonable, but I'm super cheap as it turns out. And I've been waiting for this to happen. It happened within the past week. They are now on the Dell Outlet. So they've introduced the 9370 models to the Dell Outlet, so you can get some discounted, some
So
open
wait.
box refurbs.
Yeah, there's some
scratch and
refurbs,
dents.
but there's like that's new.
Yeah. I think they just have like orders that like maybe get half fulfilled and then order canceled, or they get shipped back and they still have the seal on them so they can be new.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, Dell Outlet's always been a great source for discount Dell stuff. So, I mean, the availability of these changes very rapidly. So you just kind of have to watch it and see for the model, the exact configuration you're waiting for to show up. But yeah, the 9370 is an awesome laptop. It's the best sort of ultrabook performance we've ever seen, far and away better than any of the other options. Super good thermals,
Sweet.
8 hours of battery, or like 8 hours of battery life.
These are they all i5s or do they make
No,
it
they
an
have the
i7?
i7.
I just don't see any on this page, but probably-
There are multiple pages. It's sorted by price, low to high. So like
okay.
as you scroll down, you can start getting from 4 to 8 gigs of RAM, and then faster storage. Which these have socketed storage, so you can buy it with a lower end configuration and upgrade it if you want. I think that's what I'll end up doing.
Sweet. Last thing I bought off a Dell Outlet was a
Display.
30-inch Dell LCD. Back in the day.
When
And
was
it's-
that?
It still works. I don't know. It's whenever the 3007 came out.
Oh yeah, I've got the 3008 still running in my basement.
Yeah.
doing secret things.
We've got a 3008 that's
Just
been
refuses-
slowly dying here.
Yeah, that
for
one.
the
That
past
one's got
6
something
months.
weird. I got the HC version of the 3007, right?
Yep.
And it was a big deal at the time because it was like one of the few that was like super low latency because that was
Yeah.
when it was actually a thing that people were starting to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And most of the other Dell panels were just like horrible latency,
Yeah,
like really,
that
really bad.
3008 over there has every port imaginable, including component, composite, all of
Yeah.
that S-video, all of that stuff. And the
Serial?
the ports are slowly dying one by one
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that video controller.
I think the only thing going weird with mine is like if it's been in standby for like a day or two, the backlight kind of is like
Yeah.
it has a little bit of like a old fluorescent light starting kind of like little flicker to it, but then after it's give it a minute and it's fine.
Yeah,
Wow,
I have the
so-
3007 at home as well, and it's got the same kind of problem. It takes it about 20 minutes to warm up and get fully
really?
lit.
You can get replacement like
Can you replace the backlights with LCD or LEDs? Has anyone come up with a kit to do that?
I don't know. But
seems like someone
just
would have
the-
developed that, right?
You can get just the tube, like
Can,
replacement
can I
tubes
ask
for
a
them.
personal question of y'all?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
What TV is sitting in front of Alex that reflects, shows what you guys are seeing?
It's a LG
Oh, yeah,
4K.
Yeah, that one.
Lower end set that
That
Jim
latency
had.
out.
Yeah.
Nice. It's even got the time on there
Yep.
Yeah.
and how long we've been recording.
That's how long
Make it
we've
Like
been.
you
Here.
guys
Well,
like
it's not
know
ref-
what you're
it's not-
doing.
It's not reflecting like anything. It's just showing.
Yeah, it's just a monitor.
It's just a monitor. That's not a reflection of us. That's the display of
Sure,
us.
it reflects what is bouncing off the sensor of the camera that is pointing.
Sure. It's a very long way around reflection.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Well, I guess that's it.
But would you be able to see Dracula with it?
I mean, probably.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Photons are crazy, man.
Yeah.
Don't even know what they are.
Is it a wave or is it a particle?
Yes.
It identifies as
Magnet.
both, and you should let it.
Anyway,
Are we done yet?
PCPro.com/podcast is where you can find the show notes for the show with links to our picks that we just talked about and links to all the articles we discussed. Twitter.com/Ryan Strout is where you can ask the boss where he is this week. Twitter.com/PCPro. And, unless you guys got anything else.
Sounds like 500 won't be next week, but the week after, because everyone seems to be gone next week.
Yep.
So you're just going to have to hold out
Mm.
one more week. You can do it. I know
For
you can.
episode 501.
Okay.
Skip right over it.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, good night.
$4.99. Thank you. Thank you.
Alex, make sure you keep that part of
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
Oh, man.
Just cut it in randomly throughout the episode.
just randomly.
Yeah, it's just like a
every stop
soundboard.
on the rundown. $4.99.
Yeah.
So how much are the LCD retrofits for the 3007s?
I don't know. What's
I'm trying. Someone in the chat mentioned they upgraded their U2408 to LED. I'm
Now,
trying to see if anyone
I
makes a
actually
kit.
had a pair of 2408s that I sold my cousin for a song because they both had the red tint on them. And I replaced them with a pair of 2410Us, which are supposed to be color calibrated from Dell. 2 years fucking later, the right one's already turned red completely across the entire screen. I'm not happy about that.
Have you hit it with a hammer yet?
I'm about to. Like, I spent the extra money to get the color calibrated, nice high-end Dell 24-inch monitor, and it didn't last anywhere near what my...
What a sucker.
I know, right? Just take my money.
Well,
You
I
get to
don't
see extended warranty too.
I don't see that anybody's done a conversion.
It's
to
like
the
a 3-year
3007.
warranty, and I think it expired like a month before mine turned. Like, 3 years. Are you kidding me? Meanwhile, the 3007 has been chugging along. I bought it secondhand used or after the previous owner had it for like 6 years, and it's still working fine except for the slow startup. They
Only drove it with a 260 for 4 hours on Sunday.
So I'm trying to figure out what brand panel is in the.
It's an LG. The HC model had an LG panel.
Yeah.
Because that was the only game
Yeah.
in town for the wide gamut stuff back then.
But it also, is it worth it to try to retrofit when you can probably get a new 4K for about the same price, most likely?
Yeah.
As
Yeah, I mean, there's that.
I mean,
And
it's
you
not
may run
gonna-
into like different controller setups and stuff too, so you got power issues.
Yeah, that's true. I just want things to
A lot of them are like 2 screens now, 4 screens.
really.
Your
They actually,
capacitors might be going in the inverter and not the tube.
Yeah, I do believe that some of them are now
It's
duals.
possible.
well, they had that quad display when they came out with the first
Yeah.
4K, which required 4 DVI connectors and a weird dedicated graphics card for it. I think
Not quite that crazy, but you know when it dies and oh look, I've lost exactly 50% of my screen. I wonder if there's 2 controllers in here.
Well, was it the 30 series Dells that was the first one that came out with the dual link DVI?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're 256 by 1600, and I think it switched to dual link at 1920 by 1200 was the limit for
Yeah,
single
about
link.
So it looks like people make fairly generic upgrade kits for CCFL to LEDs.
Yeah.
that aren't necessarily panel specific.
And then do you make the LED
That's
bar
decent.
on your own, or is
No,
it,
they
is it a
give you the
variable
LED
length?
bar. Yeah, I think.
I mean,
that's the
because you
case.
know,
Yeah.
put in a 30-inch, you're gonna need kind of a long one.
Yeah.
I thought the backlights were in that panel. I thought it was like, you know, kind of like an oven coil. Like I thought it was behind the diffuser as opposed to like edge lit on that panel.
It's
Yeah.
definitely backlit, but I think they're independent tubes.
That's what I'm saying. But I think they were behind the diffuser, like, you know, just kind of like snaking around, which you could still do with LEDs as long as, you know, those are just LED strips that you can get more of or whatever. Just drive more of them.
Yeah. Then you got to figure out how much is your time worth per hour, and am I actually saving money in the long run?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Show me a 16 by 10 modern
Yeah,
computer monitor.
that's the thing. Trying to get that aspect, and like it's just
yeah.
it's just a thing you really can't get anymore. Unfortunately,
Honestly, I'm okay with that. I was such a diehard hold on for the old aspect ratios. And
4x3.
The 4x3s, you know, it's just okay, fine. If I need more horizontal, you know, I need more vertical room.
More whores? What?
That's what I heard.
More vertical
horse.
room.
Who doesn't need more vertical room?
Yeah. You just rotate the monitor. I mean, over at the desk over there, it's just got a single monitor rotated one way. Works great. I'm sorry, Josh. Is monitors discussion boring you tonight?
Nope. Just I can't comment on things, otherwise YouTube's gonna flag this as inappropriate content.
Oh, they did that hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh well, good.
And Skype will as well.
I mean, we put Jim in the background, so that's immediately mature audiences only.
Look at him. He's just all relaxed. He's editing video. He's adjusting something. He's watching X-Men. I don't know.
He was editing your mailbag.
Well, I felt
That's why
it.
you
That's
can't
what
see his
drove
other
him to
hand.
the booze.
Yeah, he had the hard stuff. It's in the look at the mug it's in.
Oh, is it a Josh Tech mug?
Oh, that makes me happy.
Ooh, let's see here. Bring that back up again, Jim.
Yeah, yeah, there it is.
JT.
Oh,
JT
he's
in the
zooming.
house.
Oop.
Oh, he's
Oh,
still
there we go.
zooming.
There we go. Look
Oh,
at that.
There it is.
There we go.
Now smash it.
Yeah,
Smash.
you two can get drunk with Josh, huh?
That's how we should have branded it.
That is. You should change that immediately.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
And you like printing out those? You
I'm
3D
working
printer
on
working?
it. I can only take so much 3D printer maintenance a night before I go off the deep end.
We only got. Let's see. What is it? It's the 9th. We only got like a couple of weeks till Budget Cuts finally gets released.
The 31st.
It's the 31st.
They delayed it 2 weeks.
What? that game's worse than Duke Nukem, for crying out loud.
Their note when they delayed it 2 weeks was like, sorry everybody, we've delayed budget cuts by 2 years. I'm sorry, that's just 2 weeks.
Well, yeah,
We just need a little more time.
a little more time after perpetually delaying that damn game after releasing the like most kick-ass demo ever.
Yeah.
For a
Well,
game.
you know, they got bought by Valve and all that.
I know. You figure to give him more help. Like, there's like this one kid that made the freaking
Yeah.
awesome demo, like in his basement or some crap.
You'll be gone.
What?
When it comes out, you'll be gone.
Oh, yeah, of course. Damn it.
Yeah, when are you leaving, Alan? You're heading out in like 2 weeks, aren't you?
I'm leaving. I'll be gone on the 31st.
Perfect timing.
He doesn't even know when he's leaving.
No, I don't actually. it's yeah.
You sort of sound like me. Just the wife says, "Hey, we're going on a trip tomorrow."
Yeah,
well, where
the
we're going?
dates for the
Mexico.
trip. The dates for the
okay.
trip is like Schrodinger's cat. Okay,
Shouldn't that have been booked by now?
it's just simultaneously. We're simultaneously leaving. Like, you know, there were 3 different ranges of dates on the calendar at the same time at one point, and only one of those ranges of dates was shared with Ryan.
That seems like a problem.
And that was the one that wasn't even visible on my calendar that I was watching.
Perfect.
So he was really happy when he learned that the trip was actually twice as long as it actually was. He thought it was. So, yeah.
But half is worthwhile.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. All I know is I'm going to need a vacation when I get back from that vacation.
You're doing a whirlwind tour of Europe, aren't you?
My wife's dragging me everywhere in Europe, just like
Everywhere.
all over the place.
Well, she's an archivist, so what do you expect?
Yeah, she's an archivist who sort of likes cars, and she keeps pushing that part off on me as if it's my fault that we're visiting like every exotic car maker. But that's okay. We're also visiting.
It's a bit of the Audi tour. I mean, I understand that they're not exactly exotic, but the RS5 is
We're going to
pretty
see
nice vehicle.
We're going to see Audi A4 and R8 production.
Oh, you gonna see A4 production?
Yes, we are. She told me I need to tell you that we're going to see A4 production, and also I think our auto. Wait, no. We're gonna
McLaren?
we're gonna have an A4 rental for a good chunk of the trip as well. She was like, "Are you sure you can get here at early enough at this time? Like, you know, going to see, I don't know, what the hell are we going to see? One of them's the what's Hitler's hideout? What's the name of that thing?
Eagle's Nest.
Eagle's Nest. Yeah, I think we're going to the Eagle's Nest thing or something. I think we'll have an A4 for that.
Nice.
Anyway, it's like, I'm not sure if we'll find parking up there. I'm like, A4 is a small car. We'll
And
figure
it's
it
a
out.
big car in Europe.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Like, what are you talking about?
That's true.
Yeah.
Have you
They'll
been to
figure it
Europe?
I mean, I've been there.
Not on leisure.
Sorta. I went like when I was 8 or something to Italy for a month, like with my grandparents.
Yeah.
Came back speaking Italian and then promptly forgot it like a few years later and failed Italian in high school. Even though I am Italian, I don't know.
You know, I think renting a car in England would be the worst thing ever because I was trying to pay attention to where the guy who was driving our stuff from London to Cambridge and what roads he was taking and all the crap that you had to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
I would be in like Wales,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't even be
Stay
funny.
off the A40.
Well, that's okay. Like I'm the
Are we
driver.
supposed to see the channel to the left of us?
Yeah.
Said?
I'm just the driver, and we have the navigator, and that's my wife. So she's the plotter of the trip.
Fun.
You get the hot lap the Nürburgring.
Yes, in a Scirocco. And I think she might drive an R8 on Nürburgring.
Are you
Seems like you're getting the raw end of the deal.
That's
Well,
a serious
Listen, I
amount
know
of car.
I know you're Mr. Scirocco guy. But
so I don't know. I think we're just gonna tag team the Scirocco in the end or something. So R8 is my wife's dream car.
it's too much car.
And
to set out on
my wife
Nürburgring.
has curbed the wheels on one too many cars in order for me to ever consider getting her an R8. I'm sorry. Just
I
no.
think that would be the least of your worries.
No, I mean she wouldn't like recklessly drive it or anything like that.
If
I
you're not-
probably would wrap it
Okay.
around the pole before she did.
If you're not gonna recklessly drive a car, you shouldn't be buying an.
Well, she likes how it
R8.
looks.
Yeah.
You know.
The TT, it's a small R8.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
I mean, apparently, like Nürburgring is not like obviously not an easy to drive circuit, and apparently not the best surface in the world.
That's true.
Like people
And
get
not only
real
that,
hairy
but
on that
when they
circuit.
have the open days, everybody is there.
Yeah.
Also true. I think we're going on a like sort of a semi-closed day or something. Whatever. I don't know. Because it's whatever. There's some rental thing there where you can kind of pick your car and you get
Yeah.
X number of laps and whatever. And I assume that they would be doing that not when it was just flat out open and everybody and their mothers on there with like their, you know,
Minivans.
delivery trucks and crap.
yeah. Passing you on the right
Yeah,
with their minivan.
Passing with their minivans. Yeah.
Well, it's an AMG Mercedes minivan.
True. True.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
I always love seeing the fake AMGs around here where they have AMG and it's like CL and then 3 digits.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's like wait a minute.
No, it's not.
Ah!
I see so many fake Type S badges on weird cars around here. God.
With the rotary with the pistons.
What, the Wankel?
Yeah. No, the Mustang GTR, right? With the rotary.
I don't get that whole thing. I don't get it at all.
It's
I don't get
efficient.
anything. That's why I'm here.
What? Mustang GTRs or rotaries? What part don't
Yes.
you understand? All of these things are related, right?
Yep, related to something.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I've had a really wonderful time with y'all, but I'm done.
Josh doesn't love us anymore.
Nope.
It's I love you just fine. I don't love you anymore. Don't love you any less.
Just
But I'm
enough.
just done.
This,
Fair.
this porridge is just
Put a
right.
fork in me.
Have a good one,
It's
Josh.
been a long week and it's only Wednesday.
Did you get your burger?
Hear that?
Did you eat a burger today?
Yeah, yes.
a good
Did
looking
you not see the
burger.
picture?
Oh, I didn't see the picture. Sorry.
Double QP with jalapenos and cheddar.
Am I subscribed
Wonderful.
to the appropriate Josh Burger feed? Is there something
Apparently
I'm
not.
supposed to?
I'm still full. I'm not going to eat until 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah. okay.
Anyway, so. All right, guys.
Yep.
Yet again.
We gotta get
let's
out of
finish
here
doing
because
questions.
I got a bunch of testing and crap to do tomorrow and
Yeah,
Alright.
etc.
with STDs.
Okay.
On
Bye.
pros. Night all.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks for putting up with us.